Hi guys, I'm Bharat. Today we are going to compile Solidity codes. Uh, let's start by going to Remix website. So Remix is a free to use Solidity ID where we can uh, compile and run Solidity files. Yep. So this is a Remix website. So let's start by creating a new workspace so that all our files will be created in a new space. Let's name it as demo workspace. Okay. So by default it has provided some contract for reference. We don't need it. Let's delete them. And let's Okay, let's start by creating new file. So first, let's start by hello world simple program. So I will name it as hello world solidity. SOL stand for solidity code. So for every solidity file, we should have these two parameters. Like it indicates the version of compiler we are using. So similar to Java classes, here in Solidity we call it as contracts. So let's start by creating a contract. Contract name hello world. So the name could be anything. So let's create a function that will print hello world whenever we access that function. So to create a function, we use a function keyword followed by function name. Let's name it print hello world. So now we have to specify the modifiers. So if it's public, that means the function is available for anyone can access a function. The second modifier is for here is pure. So we have three different options here: pure or either view. And if by default it will be empty, it means like we are updating some new block to the blockchain. So for this, we are not updating anything to the blockchain, so it it can be pure. And last part would be the return value. So returns will specify the type of argument we are returning from our function. So here it will be string, so it has to be memory because string length is not defined by us, so the string has to have a memory field. For this function we are just returning hello world. So this is our first program. Let's compile it. You can use control S for that. So yeah, our code is compiled. Now let's deploy it to the blockchain. So Remix has provided some blockchain by default. We can use them. Deploy. Here you can see like the contract is deployed and we can access the function print hello world. If I click it, we can see the string hello world is returned. So I think that's the end of the first program. Hope you guys. For the second program, let's create a new file. Let's name it person. Solve for solidity file. Again, we need that starting compiler version. So let's copy and paste it. So in this contract, we are going to perform a current operation, that is create, read, update and delete operation. So let's start by creating the contract person. So here we are going to store person details. So let's create a variable mapping variable, and let's name it as mapping or string to again string. So the first mapping is similar to a hashing value, so it will be a key value pair. So here the key will be a unique ID for each person and value will be his name. And let name it as person list. So let's start with creating C current operation, creating a person list. So for creating, let's create the function add person. So in that we need a string ID and a string name, because we need a ID for key and name will be its corresponding value in the mapping. So it should be public function so that everyone can access. And since we are adding a new block to the network, we are not going to give any extra modifiers over it. So that's it. Since we are mapping, we can directly access the key value and assign its value to name. And one more thing, the string variable should always be have memory, otherwise it will give an error. Let's compile now. Okay, the compilation is done. Let's test our code by deploying to the blockchain. Yep, we have deployed. So here we can see the add person function. Let's enter the ID 100, name as Bharat. So transact. Yeah. So the block was added successfully. So our create operation is running successfully. Let's go to the next function, that is read. So again function get person. So for getting a person, we will just pass the ID value. So the parameter would be string memory ID, and it should also be a public function. Here we can set this as view because we are never adding new block to the blockchain. And one more thing should be the return value returns. So it returns the name of the corresponding ID. So here we will return. So here we will return the name of the corresponding ID value. So let's compile and debug. Okay, the compile was successful. Let's redeploy the code. Yeah. Okay, let's create again. So the block was added. Let's check our git person. Moving on, let's create update function. Function update person. So since it's similar to add function, we can copy the thing from there. Yeah, but now, so if we give the ID and the new name, let's name it as new name. And so the update function is over. Let's create delete function. So for delete function, we will be taking a ID, person ID, name, or so it is also a public function and it does not return any value. So for delete person, we will set name of that particular ID to empty string. Some ID. So that's it, guys. We have created the current operation. Let's compile and deploy it. Let's deploy the code. So the code was deployed. Let's create a new person. Let this ID be 105 and name. Yep, person was added. Let's get current value. So 105. So the string is where. Let's update it. For update also 105. Let's name it as Girish. Transact. So block was added. Now let's again get a person code. Yeah, the name was updated. And let's delete the person. So for deleting, we need only the ID 105. Delete. Now it should be empty. Yeah, that string name is empty. That's all, guys. A simple card operation using Solidity.